Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And Carter is still in Nash Vegas, but never fear.
What kind of gall does he have to leave the state?
He's
when
over
we're
there
still doing the podcast.
He's over there being a fucking rock star, man.
What does that mean?
His old band, Husband Stitch, got back together. I've been watching some clips on Insta. They were rocking out, but let's bring our friend into this. Joining us for the first time in person at Disgraceland, previously on the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Is that the name of the fucking movie? Patreon episode. Our friends.
Say your name.
Kurt Steinmüller.
All right.
It's good to be back live in the studio with you guys.
Back in the stew with Kurt Steinmüller.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We've missed a lot since then. Dominion came out. You know?
Christ! Oh yeah. We can wrap up Dominion because we're going to talk dinos in a minute here, but. I'm trying to pare down. I've got the big war chest of energy drinks and sodas and you know all that stuff here, and I'm trying to pare down because it's coming up on the end of the year, and I've got some stuff that's been sitting in the archives now for a little bit. So
yeah, we might have to start doing 3 per episode.
Yeah, well, we're going to take care of 2 today, and both of these. So this is our ungodly concoction, Kurt. So get ready to sample something weird.
Okay.
Both of these I actually sent through the United States Postal System back in May from the Marketplace on Oakton in Skokie, Illinois.
Okay.
So visiting friends of the show, Alex Lukin and Monica Scott, they took me to what they described as, I guess, like a Slovakian or Slovenian grocery store, like Eastern European.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking supermarket. They had stuff from all over. So I picked up 2 sodas. I'm going to start with what I believe to be the most normal one. And
what other aisles did you hit?
Oh, man, there was pickled everything of every description.
I hate that about other countries. I know that's not even pickles, like pickled meat and stuff like that. I know. And I know I'm an ignorant American pig for that thought, but
trotters.
That's the way I feel.
Or canned worms.
Yeah. Who eats that?
In Malaysia, they're called silkworm pupas.
Oh,
I have heard about
they're-
soup being made from
Oh
that.
yeah, they have did we interact with a worm soup at some point?
I think we talked about it.
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah.
I've tried it once.
Yeah, how was it?
It's I was working on a show, and they gave me a whole can of them, and I had to eat them under like 5 minutes to win $250.
Did you?
I threw up. I couldn't finish
Didn't
it.
finish them?
But they
Damn.
still gave me the money. It's
Oh, okay.
one of the
What
worst.
show? What show were you working on?
It was an animated show, and they were all like,
How did that didn't even make it into the cartoon?
No, it was this
That's
guy. We had an animator on the show who was from Malaysia, and he was always in the office, and he was always like, "I got something for you to try today," and it was always something from like the other thing was that like they have this egg that they eat in Southeast Asia. I forget what it's called. It's like a rotting egg.
Is that the
basically.
1,000-year egg or whatever?
Yeah, I forget what it's called though.
Yeah, I think it's like fermented, like they fermented in.
I didn't know there was hazing in the animation community.
Yeah, they allowed.
That's fucked up. Hey kid, drink this. You want to? You'll be cool if you eat bugs.
And I wasn't.
Yeah,
because one guy was like, I'm going to take some of my money back because you didn't finish the whole thing. I was like, I tried,
Damn.
It's not enough.
Damn. You ate bugs for $250, or how much do they take back?
No, it was worms. He opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
No, I think I've got here what I believe to be maybe the most normal of these 2, and that is Limca. So this is straight out of India, folks. This is India's lemon lime sort of situation.
No, it's like a Sprite.
I think it's going to be exactly like a Sprite because it's owned. They are now owned by Coca-Cola.
Are you guys
Okay.
sponsored by Limca?
No, I would. I
love
wish.
to be.
I mean,
if India of Coca-Cola company,
Yeah.
or a Coca-Cola company of India, I mean, this does have the Coca-Cola logo all
Really?
over it. Yep.
yeah.
It'd be funny
Yeah.
to just cut to a Limca commercial.
Might do that at the end, fade one in. But no, I found out in 1990, Limca launched the Limca Book of Records, which is the Indian equivalent of the Guinness Book of World Records. So that's their, I guess, claim to fame. But give it a sample here. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
This has caffeine in it.
It's like the Barks root beer to Sprite's mug.
Also, they have a misleading calorie thing on it where like 1 can isn't 1 serving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, good.
For a second, I thought you said Limca.
Oh,
So it's
Limca.
like it might help my, my fucking erectile dysfunction.
Hey, possibly.
I mean, who knows?
Get hard. Oh.
I'll talk to your wife.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. You did some. You guys do ASMR here?
Oh,
Yeah.
The people love it.
People do love it. Ooh. I don't know if they do, but River says they do.
Their favorite part of the show.
It's a lot more murky than Sprite.
Yeah, it might be more
it's not clear.
Might be more of a Fresca situation.
Smell it first.
It smells fucking weird.
Do the people want ASMR of the sip?
It sort of smells like when you walk into an Indian restaurant and you smell some sort of spice that you don't quite know what it is. I hate to say that.
Yeah, like a curry sort of thing, maybe. I don't know.
I don't want to seem racist, but it kind of smells like Indian spice.
Yeah, I mean,
is it me or
am I racist?
Is there a little bit of a bleach smell to it?
There's something very strange about it. There's something strange.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not Sprite. That is fucking weird, and I love it. That actually kind of...
It's not... It tastes
like a cleaning supply.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's a
but
little...
like, I was trying to figure out the best way to say that, where I'm like, it does taste like a cleaning solution, but like the way it smells, which is delicious. You know?
Like a wood cleaner.
Yeah, a Pine Sol or something.
Like, you know when you were a kid and you go under your mom's counter and you open it to try to drink it, you know, because it looks cool. It's blue.
You huff the Murphy soap.
And then Mom says, no!
God,
after you taste it, it smells less weird.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had anything that's quite like this. This is very interesting.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
It's very hard to compare it to something. I agree. You do get a very citrusy taste.
Yeah.
There is a lime and lemon taste, 100%.
Yeah.
Stale Sprite.
But there's a subtle under hint of something else.
Yeah, it's almost like a Meyer lemon or something where it's lemon plus. It's got a little extra funk to it. This is really interesting. I don't know if I can even...
And instead of you know how a lot of citrus is bitter?
Yeah.
This turns sour instead of bitter.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, and it's got... I don't know. It's Sprite with like a much more complex flavor profile, basically.
I think I don't. I would hardly even compare this to Sprite. I see how you would make the comparison, but it's way
more tart.
God,
is it popular?
Yeah. I mean,
it is with us.
Yeah, it's popular with me. I'm going in 5 stars. Yeah,
5. Whoa.
Fuck yeah. I would drink that again.
I think you like it. I think I liked it after the second sip. Like you get used to it.
It gets better.
Yeah, it gets better.
Yeah. You know how when you give a baby a sip of Coke for the first time and they don't know how the fuck to handle it?
Or a bump of Coke?
I think we're babies. We're just with the Limca.
Are we going to be those Limca guys, now? We're like,
is that a thing?
We're chilling on the sidewalk in LA and we're just all drinking Limcas together.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
We pass one to somebody like Michael Jackson in the Peace commercial or whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
And then
fun.
You got to try the Limca.
I think I'm going to give it a 4.
That might be closer to what I'm thinking.
3.5.
4.5, something like that.
Yeah.
3.5.
I'm around the 3.5, 4. Because it's not bad. I drink it again, but it's not going to be like a go-to.
Yeah, I believe they sell Limca at some of the Thai markets around here. Like I've seen it since I shipped it over here. So I think I saw it at the same time I found the green cream Fanta. But so it's around. You can find it in LA at least.
Yeah,
or probably anywhere there's like an Indian kind of grocery store.
If you want to try something truly unique, a lot of times you get like a import snack from a similar type of company, and it just tastes very basically the same as some American equivalent.
Oh yeah, well,
I can't think of an American equivalent to this.
Speaking of that, I at the Weird Sinclair where I find a lot of these things, I also found Japanese Doritos that were chicken galbi, like Korean barbecue chicken Doritos. They were really fucking good.
Okay.
And they were way thicker than normal Doritos.
Was it like a pork rind? Like a
No, they were just they were just like a lot thicker. Like if you dropped an American Dorito and this Dorito from the same distance, the American one would be much more likely to shatter than this one. It's just thicker. But
I was
I like that test.
I was conducting these experiments.
Shit.
About a year ago, I was in the desert shooting a video, and we were walked in the middle of the highway. There was no one in the highway in the middle of the night, and we just saw like 20 boxes just in the street. And they were all Doritos.
What?
Yeah, I think like a Dorito truck. Accidentally like had an accident, or the door opened up, and we just really quickly grabbed all 20. I
was about to say, you grabbed them, right?
Yeah, we had like a lifetime supply of Doritos.
Fuck yeah.
I still have some in my apartment.
Nice. They're all stale now.
They're all very stale.
Well, yeah, that's that first one. But this is the one that I'm really interested in, and I have to actually give it a little one of these.
So this is not carbonated.
Not carbonated. Sam.
Shaking it.
Actually, yeah, somebody read the front of that.
Oh my God, it's lemon and mint. Mentos. a non-sparkling drink
from Korea
with jelly bites.
That's right.
Shake it.
That's right.
So there's going to be little chunks of jelly and
It's
like
got-
gummies in here.
Yes, it's a
Oh, that's weird.
Korean Mentos non-carbonated drink with jelly in it. It's
Don't knock it till you try it.
no,
Kurt.
hell no.
Kurt's already knocking it.
No, I love the Korean.
I'm
You know,
pretty
I love-
excited.
You love the Korean.
Yeah, I love
Kurt's
Korea.
going to get us in trouble.
No. They make good candy in Korea, so I'm sure I'll like the Jello. Oh yeah, I see those.
It's just
Jell-O.
about the same color.
I know.
This really smells like cleaning solution. This really fucking smells like cleaning
this one might
solution.
be bad. This one might actually be bad. We'll see.
Not bad. It kind of tastes like a melted sour popsicle.
It tastes. I don't even.
Yeah,
know.
this is not my favorite of ever of anything.
Yeah,
It's not bad though.
I'm trying to think what it tastes like.
If you want a little gelatin chunk in your drink, this might be the way to go.
Yeah.
If
Well,
not, this is definitely not what you want.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It tastes like lemonade.
It's-
With like
it's got the mint.
backwash.
Yeah, it's got like the kind of mint flavor to it.
I
but
think you might be right.
I can't really taste the mint. It's the lemon overpowers it.
it tastes like you brushed your teeth and then drank lemonade. And then there's chunks for some reason.
It does leave an unsettling taste in your
Yeah,
mouth.
that's pretty weird.
As opposed to the last one, which kind of went away pretty quickly.
Right.
Yeah, the Jello chunks are odd.
Yeah, I'm not even opposed to the gel chunks. I kind of like those aloe vera drinks. That's got the
The worst part about the chunks to me is they're all cubed.
Yeah.
They're all like a uniform cube.
Yeah, they look like little pieces of like meat. Like
It does, yeah, like you'd find at the bottom of a soup.
Yeah, it's definitely a.
This is one of those things where it's like it really has left us speechless.
Yeah, both of these.
Again, nothing to compare it to that's like this at all, except for a bad lemonade.
I'm giving that one like a 1.5 maybe.
I kind of liked it.
You like that one more?
Not more,
Not
but
more, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
I like the Jello went down smooth for
see,
me.
that's the thing. If I had a chance to drink Limca again, I would. If I had a chance to drink this again, I would not.
Same. That's where I'm at. Yeah.
But it's not horrible. I'm going to give it a 2.
Yeah.
It tasted like lemonade to me.
I think
I'll give it a 2.5.
I think the real
Okay.
test for both of these would be to have maybe the Mentos one at a Korean restaurant with your food, and then maybe have the Limca at an Indian restaurant with your food.
I think the real test is to walk up to a Korean person who now lives in America and be like, "Hey, do people actually like this there, or is this some bullshit?
yeah. Is it yeah.
Is this the shit they send over to America because they can't sell it there?"
Yeah.
If it was like 105 degrees out,
Yeah.
the lemonade, it does taste like lemonade. If it didn't have the chunks, it probably would just be a good drink.
It would be fine. If it
Yeah.
didn't, the chunks definitely complicate. When you have a texture in your drink,
Like
and
that.
it's not because there's drinks that have some, like, you might get a lemonade with some pulp in it or something like that. It feels natural. You don't
Yeah.
have a gelatin. Is this vegan?
I believe the chunks are coconut. From what I read, they're like coconut oil or something.
Oh yeah, coconut jelly bits.
Yeah, yeah.
Lemon and mint flavor. I don't taste the mint.
I
Tastes a
think
little
it's
bit.
very subtly in the gel chunks.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciated about Limca is like, and it's funny because they're made by Coca-Cola, and it's the thing I always accuse Coca-Cola of not doing, which is going for it. Like Limca, it's got a weird fucking flavor, and it's loud and proud.
I think in India you got to go for it.
Yeah, I
They
think
don't
so.
they don't want our bland American just straight up sugar drink.
That's true. Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, we definitely do have a lot of bad drinks.
We have drinks here that if drinking soda wasn't the norm, no one would ever touch them. And I think the energy drink segment of the show is
Yes.
kind of proof of that.
Definitely.
मिला कोई अपना सा चलो ना ख्वाहिशों के पीछे पीछे हाँ दो पल
Limca, दो पल ताजगी.
I have a little update from the stream and a sort of a sad confession.
Did you call that guy we met that one time?
No.
We
he
met
gave
a
me-
guy on Melrose, and
He was like, "We should collab, man."
Yeah. We gotta hit
Was
him
he
up.
was he like a trans? Was he transient or just
No,
like,
no,
chill?
It was just like a young kid who seemed like he wanted to be some sort of entertainer, but didn't know what.
Yeah.
He said he was a musician.
He's like, "I've been working on." I think you asked him like, "What genre?" And he's like, "I'm still figuring it out, man."
Yeah.
We're like, okay, cool. No,
That's the second musician I've met on the street that, the first one made music that wasn't based in music.
that's right. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't
face.
know.
What do you
We're
think
gonna-
it means?
We're
man?
gonna have to go.
What
talk
is it
to
like?
that
Like a
person.
soundscape? Like
Yeah, I mean, it just means they're crazy.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
the sounds you hear when you're high on DMT, just a low roar.
A lot of people want to feel like they're trailblazing.
Yes,
So you
yeah.
got to
Yeah.
make music that's not based in music.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand when people want to make music that isn't based in music because we've created beats and rhythms for a purpose. Human beings enjoy them.
Yeah, that's true. But what if you flipped it on its head and didn't do that?
Yeah, what if
man?
it was just silence?
Yeah. What if it was just screeching every 2 minutes?
yeah,
But the only way to really enjoy it and know what the screeching really sounds like is being high on meth and PCP.
that's right.
Then you unlock the sound.
No, last Thursday we went and got the mummy. What the fuck was it called?
The mummy wrapped monster
Bacon
taco
wrapped monster
from
taco.
Jack in the Box. You heard of this?
No, what is this?
It's a big fucking Jack in the Box taco, and it has got a tortilla shell with the nacho Ortega ballpark nacho cheese and
Like
bacon
a
bits. wrapping it.
double-decker Taco Bell taco.
Ugh.
Regular crunchy taco wrapped in a flour tortilla with a bunch of nacho cheese in the middle.
Sounds gross.
So Sam took me out to get that, and we tried it. And
Rivers loved it.
Did you stream while you were eating it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well-
you can watch this on the internet.
no, it's on there. But last night I went and I was returning the van.
Oh no, Rivers.
And the line at Wendy's was kind of long.
Oh no.
And y'all, I went back and got another mummy bacon wrapped bullshit thing.
Was it as good as the first one?
It was better, and
Oh no.
Wow.
and I also topped it off with more egg rolls.
Damn.
Oh
So-
god, that's a nightmare dinner situation. You know how there's girl dinner? This is nightmare.
Nightmare
dinner.
is demon dinner.
Yeah, you got the. Well, it feels like a lot of the fast food restaurants are just creating meals now to just become like a meme on social media. Like McDonald's, like let's make the Big Mac chicken now.
Oh yeah,
People will
that's-
flood.
It's definitely part of like the marketing scheme to make something fucking weird.
yeah. The Burger King has the Wednesday Addams burger with the purple bun and shit.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
then no, Wendy's now has the Krabby Patty.
Which is literally a Dave's Double with Thousand Island on it. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
exactly the same as any other burgers.
Yeah,
but-
you'd think it would have like what's that?
Sponge,
No, what's that
Plankton.
dipping sauce that you put on like fish and chips? Like
tartar sauce.
yeah, you think it would
Vinegar?
have like
But
tartar
they don't
sauce
have
and
tartar
vinegar.
sauce in the show though.
yeah. Also, it's a burger. It's not a fish situation.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a Krabby? But yeah, maybe it would be
You'll
more
never make
interesting.
it. You'll never make it an animation. I can tell.
All right, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
thinking too linear, Kurt.
But yeah, I got it for round 2. Just as good, just as strong, and I am very happy that. I'd like to thank you, Sam, for introducing me to this situation right before Halloween. So as soon as the promotion is over in November, I won't be able to go back and get more.
Yeah, I mean that
'Cause
is a
it's-
good point.
Ooh, I'm thinking about it right fucking now.
They
got my hook.
What if it's so popular? They're like, okay, this is the Thanksgiving monster taco now.
Ooh, and they put like stuffing and cranberry sauce and
Oh,
shit.
that would be popular.
Is it big?
Yeah, it's like
monster,
It's a
dude.
monster. Yeah, it's like a
You know, a
big
Jack in
taco.
the
What's it
Box
called?
taco?
The mummy?
It's like the monster mummy bacon, mummy wrapped bacon.
Does it have
something.
like stuff that looks like mummy wrappings
No,
on it?
no.
It's just
Make
make it look cool.
big-
It's just a play on the fact that there's a tortilla wrapped around. it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's very dense. It's like a very like you feel the heft of it when you pull that taco out of the bag.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's too heavy for a
Yeah.
fast food item.
It is disturbingly heavy.
That's
but
fucked up to just eat at food that just comes out of a Jack in the Box fryer, and then also nacho
Yeah.
cheese and bacon bits, which I don't even think
And
is
egg rolls.
real. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Out of the Jack in the Box fryer,
I found out that is their least popular item.
of course it is.
The mummy? Yeah.
No, the egg rolls.
Oh,
It's just-
shit.
It's like my go-to there. I mean, no one else is getting them, so they're always going to be fresh.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
How did you find that out?
I was watching endlessly scrolling YouTube shorts,
Uh-huh.
and someone was like, "Here's all the least popular items from your favorite fast food," and they went through and told all of them. And apparently, the least popular thing at Arby's is apples,
They just sell apples or
I-
apple slices.
apple slices. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, no one going to Arby's wants to eat vegetables.
right, exactly.
What about McDonald's? What's the least?
I think theirs was the tea. They said
Oh.
like the
Whoa.
hot tea.
Oh,
yeah,
hot
yeah,
tea.
not sweet tea.
I didn't
like
even
their-
know they had hot
exactly.
tea.
I didn't either. And then they get to Jack in the Box, and I was like, I knew it right when they said Jack in the Box. I was like, it's gonna be egg rolls. It's gonna be egg rolls. It was egg rolls.
Damn.
So at least according to some sort of TikTok disinformation.
I agree. You saw it on
agenda.
TikTok. Yeah, why not? I mean, you could also just say any of those and it's believable.
Yeah.
I bet the least sold item is like extra straws or something.
Right. Yeah,
you
sure.
know, you want a fucking extra bag? Okay, 10 cents, baby. This is the one we sell a year.
I do find it funny that the apple slices at Arby's and McDonald's are just in a plastic bag. Like, why didn't you just give them an apple? Just a whole apple.
Because then they have produce to worry about going bad because no one's ever going to buy them.
Yeah. They fill those bags with like that vitamin C powder. That's how they keep the apples from turning brown.
Oh, really?
So,
weird.
if you ever wondered why they're like really tart if you eat an sliced apple out of a bag, that's why. It's like...
Yeah. I never understood why McDonald's tried to make those good for you Happy Meals. It's like, no, just keep making them shitty. Come on.
I mean, if you're taking your kid to McDonald's, it's a little weird to be like, no, we want the healthy alternative.
Right.
Yeah, the little milk and the apple
We're going to
slices.
feed you processed bullshit, but come on, not completely. Well, Rivers, I'm glad that your life has been ruined for possibly, 2 more weeks?
Yeah, well, I mean, what? It's the 22nd, so...
You're going to eat one every day?
No.
He should.
No, but
that's
I might.
a good idea.
Oh, you can be the next supersized guy.
Yeah. How's he doing?
He's dead.
I know. What's he up to right now?
But that's bullshit because he was an alcoholic. So he got unhealthy. Probably was drinking the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, that was always
me.
Where he's like, oh, I eat this every day, and I was like, he was like throwing up. And shit. I was like, man, come on.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, that was the thing. He was drunk.
So that's what That's what people say now. He was drinking, binge drinking the whole time.
Makes sense.
They were filming it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes.
And that's why he was going to the doctor, and they're like, yeah, your organs are failing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, supersized come back, baby. I want those.
No, he did a good thing for this country in a way.
Yeah.
It did need to be exposed how horrible the food we were eating was.
Yeah.
And that he did that was a net positive for society, really.
Yeah.
People don't realize how bad it used to be.
I do miss the birthday parties there, though. Remember when you were a kid and you were just, oh, yeah, I'm going to have a McDonald's birthday party.
I don't know anyone who actually ever did that.
Really?
I think I went to one of those. Yeah, but I'm also thinking maybe it was just our baseball team.
It was just a party at McDonald's.
I think so.
It wasn't like a rented thing.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was someone's birthday. I just remember being at McDonald's like all fucking day, like in the ball pit, running around and shit. But I feel like, I don't know. Our McDonald's was across the street from the mall, which had Aladdin's Castle, the arcade. So that was the go-to. Yeah. Nobody would go to McDonald's if the arcade was an option. They actually, I think we found out because we did the 2003 episode, found out they unveiled the McGriddle and salads on the same day in 2003.
Oh, really?
See, that's a beautiful yin and yang.
Yeah. But it was totally just, I think, because of Super Size Me or similar like exposés where they're like, hey, actually... should maybe have a salad here. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like ever since then they've been on like some sort of weird like 10-year cycle where about every 10 years they come back and they're like, oh no, we're good again. We got a healthy thing, and then they just phase that out.
Like chicken Big Mac.
Yeah, totally.
I got addicted to McDonald's breakfast during COVID. And the most angry I've ever been is I showed up to McDonald's at like 10:31 and I was like, hey, I'll just get a McDonald's, like McGriddle, whatever. And they're like, we stopped serving 24-hour breakfast. And I was so pissed off. I've never been angrier.
Damn.
That's when I was like, this COVID thing's got to end.
Yeah.
Fucking 24-hour breakfast at McDonald's was the greatest gift in this world. That was my heaven.
That was their hell working there, I think, from what I remember. It
was their hell.
Because they're having to like flip eggs and shit at like 8 p.m. when they're all backed up.
And that was me. It was always me at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
That shit,
We kind of talked about it up top, but Kurt, well-known dino guy, big dinosaur head. We talked about the... terrible Jurassic Park 2 on the Patreon back in 2020. Speaking of that unfortunate year, but since then the trilogy's complete. What did we think of the last one? Did you think it
Dominion?
Yeah, I couldn't even remember the name until you said it.
Yeah. It was the worst, one of the worst films I've ever seen, ever. This is a guy that has high regard for the first movie.
Do you think you hated it that much because you're such a fan, or if you just didn't even like the series, you would still think it was a horrible movie?
Just regardless of me being a fan, it was an awful movie. Yeah. Because there's Jurassic Park fans that they've lost their mind and like they think the Jurassic World trilogy is like they're good movies
in any way.
It's like being like it's like having like no issues with Alien Romulus, because like you're an Alien fan. It's like, dude, you have to like criticize some stuff, like bringing back that character as AI in Alien Romulus. It's Rocky or whatever. It's like, no, that's like, stop doing this. Stop like.
I will say of that movie particularly, and then we can go back to Jurassic Park. It felt like the most expensive fan film ever made. Yeah, and I kind of dug it because of that. Yeah, I was like, at least they like had practical effects and some real sets and shit like that. The AI thing was a bit egregious, but whatever.
Yeah, I like how they did the facehuggers. But anyway, back to Dominion.
JP Dominion.
Yeah, Dominion, like, it was, have you seen it?
Yes, I have, but it's so, and I don't know if I even watched the whole thing, but yeah, I think I watched part of it. I don't know.
Well, the wildest thing about Dominion,
so many of the newer Jurassic Park movies are so like cliche that I don't even remember a lot of the movies.
Yeah,
I remember that they're in the balls at one point that are like,
which mechanical
make no sense. Car balls. They're running away from the dinosaurs and orb cars or something. I don't remember which one that even was.
I think it's the first two. Actually, they have orb cars.
Yeah, like why? Why would we want the orb cars? Like, no, we want Jeeps.
Yeah. You got something with gas power that can get over hills and run from shit and accelerate.
Yeah. But Dominion. Well, the craziest thing about Dominion is the whole point of the Jurassic World trilogy was, hey, these guys, they're going to get out, and they're going to be in the real world, eating real people in Illinois, Alabama, California. It's going to be wild. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
And then we get to Dominion, and they go back to a fucking park in an island, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
And the only place you see dinosaurs attack people is like Morocco. And you're like,
right.
Yeah, Morocco's cool, but like, you guys still are not going to just do New York City,
right? Like, you can't destroy buildings in America anymore. People aren't going to be on board with it.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think they can go and be like, okay, now the dinosaurs are going to ruin New York City?
They did it in the Avengers, man.
I mean, and they've probably done it in like King Kong and shit too. But I don't think Jurassic Park's going to take that risk.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, you got to. Every movie has a 9/11 in it.
Yeah, basically.
Now, like every big action movie.
And then they just eat chicken shawarma after like nothing happened. Like
right.
Casually, like after like they just like. Thousands of people are probably dead.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, we're just going to chill and make some jokes.
Right
now. But yeah, and then the locusts. You don't even, like, that's the worst part of Dominion.
Oh, yeah, I remember the locusts now.
Oh, yeah.
What was the locust? I blocked this part out. What was this?
So, what makes no sense about Dominion is every movie, that Dr. Wu guy is the villain.
Yes.
He's always doing random stuff with dinosaurs. We're gonna put some pufferfish DNA in this guy, and then we're gonna add a little spice of this,
and extra violent.
Yeah, extra violent. And then in Dominion, they're Biosyn, right? The company that's in the Jurassic Park novel as like the competitor to InGen.
Yeah,
they're back for whatever reason, and they used the locusts. Oh, yeah, they're trying to take over the food supply.
Oh, they brought back Dodgson. I forgot about that. But not the real Dodgson, because he's like a fucking pederast, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they got some other guy.
I was at a party once, and it's so odd. This guy was like, I got the inside scoop on that Jurassic Park Dodgson guy. He didn't do it. I thought it was so funny for like, because that guy is like, nobody knows him.
What a scoop that is.
Nobody knows.
The guy was in the original Jurassic Park for 1 minute of screen time. Yeah, he didn't. He's being framed by all these these fucking these lion hoes are after his money.
My friend was like, he's innocent. I was like, all right.
Okay.
And that's right. In Dominion, they make the locusts to destroy other crops, right?
Yeah,
and they unleash them.
Oh yeah, because
they're like lab created.
That's right. They try to like make them like they're like Monsanto or something, basically.
Yeah, but it's and then they're like Apple too, because like you go to the park, right? Their park, it looks like Apple. They've got that Frappuccino machine.
Yeah.
Now they're making the new one.
What? They're doing another. I mean, of course, they'll never stop. But.
Well, it's so funny what the new one's called because clearly Dominion was a total flop.
Yeah.
And they realized, no one likes Jurassic Park anymore. And then this new one's called Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Oh, good. Okay, so we're gonna just.
We're going to reimagine the series now. They're going to make the dinosaurs woke, I assume.
Yeah, right? And, I thought it should be called Jurassic Park Afterbirth.
Ooh, yeah, there
After the... but I think this one, I read... They're like, it's a new spin on Jurassic Park. It's good. And then all of a sudden, I read the log line. The log line is basically after, like, the dinosaurs have been released... They're living on the equilateral, like, planes of the, world, like islands. And a group of mercenaries has to go to the island to get life-saving drugs from the largest dinosaurs on the islands. And then a family gets trapped on the island with them.
So
I was like,
it's Lost World and 3 combined, basically.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't understand. They should have just done those human dinosaur hybrids rated R. That would have been sick.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Why not at this point? Yeah.
Yeah, because they're doing the stupidest other stuff. It's like, why don't you just go like completely dumb?
There's only so many ways that humans can fight dinosaurs.
Right.
You got to be honest with yourself after a while and be like, you can only have them fight so many ways before you're just nuking the dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, I think I said it at the time about the Fallen Kingdom where I was like, this movie sucks, but the ending, I was like, well, this is at least kind of interesting, where it was like the clone girl betrays humanity and releases dinosaurs upon the earth. I was like, this is how the movie should have fucking started.
Yeah.
And then go completely wild with it, but they didn't.
That clone girl, man. That is the worst line in cinema history.
You unlike me.
Yeah. Like, how do you... although that movie, looking back at it did have some cool kills. Like, some funny, stupid stuff.
Yeah,
like,
there was random shit here and there. It was kind of fun. It was just... I love that they put every dinosaur from the first movie in one house somehow.
Yeah,
like,
it's
this
a haunted
makes
house.
sense.
Yeah.
It was almost like the cats in the movie Cats, where it's like, how big are these cats?
Yeah.
Sometimes they are knee height, sometimes they're dancing on spoons.
Yeah.
How big are the cats? How big are these fucking dinosaurs? How big is this house?
That's the great part about Jurassic Park is they just can be like, okay, here's a new type of dinosaur that can fit in a house and chase people through doorways.
Yeah.
But I think they're obsessed with like introducing new dinosaurs every time, and as a dinosaur fan, part of me like doesn't care.
Just
like
there's
because they all
fucking-
kind of look the same after a while. It's like
Find some other shit that's real. I don't know, man.
yeah.
Throw a mammoth in there.
Mammoth? Yeah. Are you a Turok fan? Do you like the games?
Played it once in 1996 or whenever it came out, and the controls were too fucking hard because you had to use the yellow buttons instead of the fucking joystick on the motherfucker.
I know.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't care.
I always wanted. I think that would be the next property you can make a sick ass dinosaur like
that'd be fun.
movie at, like because he's a. If you're not familiar with the story, he's like a Native American guy
And
that
he hunts dinosaurs.
I think the original story
It's
is
called
simple.
Turok,
Where
a
like
dinosaur hunter.
yeah, he's like sent to
Don't
another.
try to deny that he hunts dinosaurs.
He does hunt
Kurt.
them, but he's like sent to like a different like plane of existence, and there's like mercenaries,
Like
that are-
where there's
that are, like, killing
dinosaurs.
him, yeah.
Okay.
But Turok 2 Seed of Evil is so cool because they have hybrid like human dinosaurs
Okay.
like, with guns, and you're like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah, I remember trying it once, and as Sam knows, with video games, if it's not immediately easy and fun, I lose interest immediately. So I was like, nah.
Sam came over recently. We played Doom 64.
Ooh, yeah. Also,
unplayable.
very hard.
Unplayable game.
No, it's just hard.
No, the main issue with the game is they wanted to make it like a dark game, like mood wise, and the way they did that was literally making the game dark.
Yeah.
So
It's too dark.
you can't you like turn a corner and you can't see shit every time, and it makes it so that when you enter a room, a lot of the times you're like, everything looks the same as the last like 5 rooms I've been in. Am I going the right direction? What the fuck? Because Doom's already a game where you gotta like go like just search around for shit, hoping to find the right door or key or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you can't see, it's so fucked.
Yeah.
And then like it's the N64 controller. That's the only platform it came out on. It controls like shit.
Yeah, that was one of those. I remember we were hyped when it came out, and then we rented it and just like went back to playing NFL Blitz or whatever.
There's tons of slowdown. It's not 2-player at all.
Yeah, which
If
is
we could
fucking
get
wild.
like a PC mod of it.
Well, they
I'm
did.
sure someone's done it.
No, they released it on like Switch. they like upgraded the graphics and then like the brightness is better.
I might get that then.
So they say it's a lot better, but I like playing on the 64.
I get
how
it.
Difficult it is, and the controls are just.
I want the video games to be harder to play, just like my childhood.
Yeah.
You thought they were extinct. They're back. Mutated and far more dangerous. Now they want the Earth back. Only one man with mammoth firepower and a taste for big game can make dinosaurs extinct again.
Dodson! We've got Dodson here!
From acclaim.
As far as current dino news, I was wondering if you have checked out any of the goings on at the Los Angeles Natural History Museum of late.
No, I haven't.
Have you been there before?
I've never been there. I just went to the tar pits for the first time. That was sick.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I still got to go there. We should all go.
I was going to say, I want to go see this that I'm about to talk about because Los Angeles just recently has unveiled their newest acquisition, which is a green-boned dinosaur.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the name of the dinosaur is Natalie, and the thing is got a green tint to it because when it became a fossil, it was, I guess, right next to an element called selatonite, which is sort of a green tinted volcanic ash that seeped in. So when it became rocks and the bones got replaced by the rocks, the bones are
that's fucking sick.
like green tinted. But yeah, it's a Diplodocus or Diplodocus.
You seen that, Sam?
Yeah,
I'm looking at it. It's got a long ass neck.
Yeah, and I found out about this because I follow ABC7 on Facebook.
Yeah,
and it just popped up. It was like meet Natalie, LA's newest green dinosaur, and I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting." And I went down into the comments, and it was just a lot of people just being like, "Cool," and then a lot of other people being like, "Fossils are not real. They were put there by the devil."
Well, I met a guy recently that didn't. I thought it was all a creationist thing, right? That like people that like they thought. The Earth is younger and dinosaurs lived amongst Christ.
Yes,
which is funny.
Like Kent Hovind, for instance.
Yeah, right. Or
who, by the way, we talked about Kent Hovind way the hell back in the day because he was feuding with like some guy down in Flomaton, Alabama. The guy who was writing the newspaper was just like flame warring this like creationist like fake doctor.
Yeah,
and he had bought some park and he'd gotten like the county commissioner to join his cult, and there was like this whole like crazy drama. And that's Whit Thomas was on that episode, and I just. For this, just was like, what's Kent Hovind up to? I was like, arrested for domestic assault.
Wow,
okay, cool, good. Anyway, Dr. Dino. Turns out he's a shithead.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, I met a guy that doesn't believe in fossils recently, and he, I won't say his name, but he...
Is he a comedian?
But he was a comedian, but anyway, he doesn't believe in God. So there's... So
yes.
So what's wild is there are a lot of people that don't believe in fossils that are also atheists.
Young Earth non-creationist.
No. I don't think he's young Earth. I think he thinks it's a conspiracy. So
good.
So non-Christians are now buying into Christian conspiracy.
No. Because he says that because what he was saying to me is based on a little bit of fact, but he like conflates it with so much because he was like, Kurt, if you go to the museum, you'll see it tells you they're not the real bones.
Yeah.
They don't show you the real bones. I'm like, yeah, because
they're fossils.
Some bones, they're so fragile that they don't actually put the real ones out.
Yeah, of course, because they know people are goddamn stupid, and they're like, I want to touch the dinosaur.
Yeah, but then that guy uses it as a starting off point to say dinosaurs didn't exist.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no.
There's plenty of stuff that you can't see that is real.
Yeah. Have you been to the Field Museum in Chicago to see Sue?
I want to. That's the Tyrannosaurus.
It's the biggest T-Rex.
Yeah,
it's the biggest and most complete T-Rex they ever found. I was just
She's
there.
a beauty.
It's amazing. But with that one, the skull weighs a ton, so they have that in a separate box, and then they have the plaster molds on the skeleton. But it doesn't mean that it's not.
Yeah.
real.
Also, most museums though they'll have some dinosaurs that are actually on display, they're real fossils, which is real bones.
Right.
But then this guy's just conflating the ones that are just for show.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
the plaster ones.
Yeah, the plaster ones are still cool to look at. It's just trying to show you.
It's just a mirror of the one they found on the other side of its ass or whatever. Yeah.
And then also some of the dinosaurs are incomplete, so no one wants to see just the head sometimes. They want to see what the neck would look like too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. The LA Natural History Museum they got dude. This is right up your alley, man. Let's go. Next time you got a day off, let's compare schedules because I want to go see this dinosaur.
I don't know what is it.
That's the Natural History Museums. They got all the dinosaur stuff, and then they have, as they say in Ireland, it's a dead zoo. So you can see an elephant stuffed.
Is it downtown?
It's on the campus of USC.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, it's just south of downtown. So
yeah.
Right next
I'd
to
love
the Coliseum.
to go.
Right next to the new George Lucas Museum they're building down there too.
Oh, cool.
Which is going to be fucking crazy.
Will his bones be on display?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. I feel like that one, when it finally opens, there's going to be like a year-long waiting list to go into that place. It looks fucking crazy.
It's going to be cool.
It looks like a spaceship.
That's awesome.
It's insane. But yeah, anyway, it's right next to that.
Oh, cool.
But now they got a green dinosaur, and
do they have a T-Rex there?
Fuck yeah. They got T-Rex, they got Deinonychus, the inspiration for the Velociraptor in Jurassic Park. They got all the shit down there.
You know what? Do you know the answer? Is it the Utah Raptor? Was that the largest Velociraptor?
Yeah, that's the one that they discovered the year Jurassic Park came out, because Jurassic Park came out in 93 and everybody went, dude, the Velociraptor is like the size of a chicken.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah, we kind of based on this other dinosaur called a Deinonychus. And then as they were promoting the movie, somebody in Utah found a 6-foot tall Velociraptor. And they're like, oh, actually, yeah, there is a real one like that.
Yeah, which was sick. Because the Utah Raptor is like kind of like the Velociraptor.
Yeah,
right? That would be like that. The same thing happened with Jurassic Park 3.
Oh,
because
really?
for a long time, people didn't think Spinosaurus existed.
Yeah.
And it's funny that, and they were like, it wasn't that big or blah, blah, blah. It wasn't aquatic. But now there's been some real research. Spinosaurus was one of the largest carnivores to ever exist. It was bigger than T-Rex, and it was mostly aquatic.
They have it at hanging up in the gallery when you walk into the Field Museum, the most complete Spinosaurus aegypticus they've ever found. But no, actually, the confusion with the Spinosaurus happened because the bones, for a long time, the only bones they ever had were in a museum that was in Germany and got firebombed by the Allies. So they lost the original Spinosaurus because it was a Nazi dinosaur at that point. But
good.
Yeah, fuck you.
That dinosaur supported the Nazi party. I can't get behind this dinosaur.
It was on the front lines.
It literally was. Yeah, it was a few streets down from Kurt Vonnegut.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. But
does it have the one in Los Angeles? Does it have the completed tail where you can see like where? Because they've found some bones that in the tail you can clearly say that it looked like a crocodilian tail.
It's got like a fucking paddle on the back, basically. Yeah,
fucking sick.
That's the one. That's in Chicago. That's in the Field Museum.
Oh, cool.
And then they have like the Titanosaurus, like the biggest long neck they've ever found. Like crazy. Chicago's got us whooped, but LA's is pretty cool.
What's sick about dinosaurs too is like, when you really think about it, we're looking so far into the past that like there's probably dinosaurs and other organisms that we've still not found, or their fossils aren't like around. We could still be so wrong.
Oh yeah, we could easily. I mean, we've barely found any of our own, ancestors, skeletons and stuff like that. Like, not that many Australopithecus out there.
I know. It's so cool. Like, imagine like dinosaurs had human skin or something. Like,
yeah. When you were growing up, did you do any paleontology of any kind? Did you dig or anything? Like, my mom sent me to Auburn University. Had like a paleontology like summer camp thing where we just walked around in a creek bed for a week and dug out shark's teeth and shit like that. So
that's cool.
Alabama was underwater during the dinosaur era, so that's about what you're going to find is shark stuff, but it was pretty dope.
So Long Island, I have a really funny story about paleontology. But I'll start at Long Island, where I'm from. It was formed by a glacier, so there's no dinosaurs on Long Island at all because it was formed during the Ice Age.
It's like a glacier moraine or something.
Yeah, so there's no they're all like you just find arrowheads from because Long Island was all like Native American tribes.
Yeah,
but I loved paleontology, And in my yearbook in elementary school, I wanted to be a paleontologist soccer player when I grow up.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know what that is, but that's what But this is a really weird story. But when I was a kid, I was so into dinosaur bones. I was like in 2nd grade, and this raccoon died underneath my fence.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, and me and my friend were like, "This is fucking sick." And it was so old at that point. It was just bones and fur. It was like completely decomposed.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like we were like pulling like. And then we walk inside and I was like, Mom, can we like dig up these bones in the backyard to use them as props for Jurassic Park toys? She said, go right ahead. So me and my friend, anytime you would
Just
come over.
wash your hands before dinner.
We would go in the backyard and like take the bones apart with like gloves on and like we'd put them in like a soap bag to clean them off. We'd be like, this is sick. And we would put them all in a cigar box. All of these like dinosaur bones, these raccoon bones, right?
Yeah. Dinosaur bones in your head. Dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
I go to school and I start giving them out to kids in my school, like dinosaurs, like the guys in my school, and they were like, "Thanks, Kurt." And,
thanks, Kurt. Did you ever hear about those ever again?
The police call your house.
So then it was just my friend's birthday party, and like we were supposed to go to his house in like the Hamptons, and the gift bag was on the
McDonald's
kitchen.
in the Hamptons.
Yeah, the McDonald's. No, they were rich. So the gift bag, we got him like a Power Ranger or whatever. And I was like, hey, can I give him like the best dinosaur raccoon bones and put them in the bag? And she's like, sure, he loves dinosaurs. So I took like a smorgasbord of like the best raccoon bones, like the skull,
Your finest raccoon.
the
bones.
skull, the fucking femur.
Whoa, you gave him the skull? That's a real friend, man.
Yeah, it was his birthday.
That's a real friend.
And I put him in a Ziploc bag. Put him in the birthday bag. We go to the birthday party, and all the parents are helping this kid unbox his toys, you know?
Yeah.
And everyone's there. They get to our gift, and the mom takes out the Power Ranger, and then there's a little shuffle in the bottom of the bag. And she was like, oh, there's one more gift in here. And she just pulls out the Ziploc bag of raccoon bones. She just goes, what is this? What is this? We were never allowed back. And then as me and my mom were leaving, she was like, we won't be needing these.
Oh, God.
Gave you
her
back
right
the bones.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was that your only friend in the Hamptons? You might have fucked up something.
I fucked up something
crucial here.
Well, it's just funny when like white trash family like
Interacts with rich people.
rich people. They're like, this is how the poor live.
Here's my finest bones, ma'am. Like, you're in the Hamptons right now.
Yeah, you got to act like it. We didn't act like it, and that was the only paleontology I've ever done.
Oh, wow. It's just
Just getting kicked out of a party.
I was going to say, I think that's just like roadkill. I don't know if that counts.
No, it died under a fence.
Yard
Remember?
kill. Yard kill.
It died of natural causes, being stuck under a fence. It was dug up by young boys who just loved dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's so funny that like there was so much innocence in what we were doing, and like,
But it was also so creepy. At the same time.
so creepy.
Yeah.
Like, thank God I wasn't the other way, where I was like in a garage with like a drill bit, like,
Yeah. Yeah. All of these bones are my slaves now.
yeah. But it was sick. We had the best dioramas of dinosaurs with like real raccoon bones.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck yeah, I bet. Holy shit. Yeah, like I said, I was very interested in it as a child. I do remember somebody asking, like, how do you plan to make money off of that? And just being a kid with confidence and no clue what I was talking about, I'd be like, you can get like $7-8 million for a dinosaur bone. It's just like a number I made up.
Yeah.
Someone was like, I think you have to get a grant from a university and you don't make that much.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No.
It's like stand-up.
I'm going to be fucking, yeah, exactly.
we're mining for jokes.
Yes.
Just like bones.
Yeah, that's right.
you know?
And if you get the best one, then you can sell it to a bigger paleontologist.
Yeah. I remember like looking into archaeology too, and I was like, nah. Paleontology.
Yeah,
Dinosaurs, so much cooler.
Yeah, totally. Got a little fun little history story regarding dinosaurs here. This is actually, I pulled this from PBS.org, and there's a great documentary called American Experience Dinosaur Wars that chronicles this tale. One of the most fantastic things ever is early days of paleontology. We got two guys we're dealing with here. Othniel Charles Marsh and Edward Drinker Cope, which what a fucking... There was a guy who ran for, I think it was state senate in Alabama named Young Boozer. But I do love Edward Drinker Cope. which is pretty fun. Marsh was born in 1830 in Lockport, New York, to a family of farmers, and he was able to attend Yale University thanks to his wealthy uncle, George Peabody, who he later forced to build the Peabody Museum, which is still around today. And he went on to study paleontology, which was a relatively new field at the time, and also anatomy in Germany. And when he returned, he became the first professor of paleontology in the United States and worked at the Peabody Museum. How did he get that job? Working for his uncle's museum. And Cope, meanwhile, he was born 9 years later in Philadelphia in 1840 to a wealthy family, showed an interest in science at an early age, like you and I, Kurt. And though he never had formal training as a paleontologist, he studied under Joseph Leidy, who is the professor of anatomy who discovered the first dinosaur remains in North America. So he wasn't like officially trained, but he was hanging out with the original dinosaur guy. And his father sent him away to Europe. If this sounds like something a rich family would do today, let me know. Sent his kid to Europe because A, he wanted to dodge the Civil War, and B, he was fucking a girl his dad didn't like.
Oh, wow.
So he broke him up by shipping him off to Europe.
That's some classic rich guy stuff.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Like, oh, you're just having this low-class harlot at our fancy Hamptons party. What, did she roll in with raccoon bones?
And also, you are not going to die in this war.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah. It ain't me. So when he gets to Europe, he meets Marsh, and he was a graduate student at the time. They were pretty friendly, and he became a professor of zoology at Haverford College in Philly after his family's connection got him an honorary master's degree so he could get the job. So again, he didn't earn any of this. His family was just like, here, we'll build a building. You're good.
The honorary degree is like such a red flag.
I know. Yeah. It's so crazy. But yeah, he worked for the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia. And as I said, they had a good relationship. They swapped letters and fossils, manuscripts, and seemed to be friends. And they actually named different species that they found after each other.
Aww.
So,
cute.
At some point, Cope named an amphibian fossil Pioneus marshi, and Marsh returned the favor by naming a giant marine creature Mosasaurus copianus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the mosasaur, the first one was Marsh, and named it for Cope as a little hey, we're buds.
Yeah.
But Marsh's gesture was tinged with betrayal, and things quickly became competitive. As it turns out, Mosasaurus came from a quarry in Haddonfield, New Jersey that Cope was working in, and Cope had shown Marsh this quarry in 1868, but Marsh secretly bribed the owner of the land to inform him anytime he found dinosaurs.
Oh, damn.
Just a fucking dick move right out the bat. Like, here's some money, fucking cut this guy out of this whole thing. And then just as an extra fuck you, it's like that's where they found the mosasaur.
Yeah.
So he's like, not only am I going to name it after you, I found it on this land that you had already told me about. Shit like that, just to rub it in. So not long after the double-crossing quarry debacle, Marsh also struck a blow to Cope's ego. Cope had been working on reconstructing an Elasmosaurus, a genus of marine reptile plesiosaur, and in his rush to compete with Marsh, Cope made a humiliating mistake. He put the head at the end of its tail.
Oh, that's so funny.
Just trying to do this shit too quickly. This is going to be like the running theme throughout this is for the purpose of expeditiousness, they are trying to get to print before the other person.
Yeah.
So
they just want to be first.
They just want to be first. And this guy literally put the skull on the ass of the dinosaur and published it. Marsh pointed out Cope's error, and it didn't go well. Cope was so humiliated that he tried to buy all the copies of the journal back.
That's a rich guy boss move right there.
Yeah. I'm not wrong. It doesn't exist. Fake news never happens.
Wow.
Yeah. Cope, in turn, began collecting in what Marsh considered his private bone hunting turf in Kansas and Wyoming, further damaging their relationship. Yes, turf wars, straight up, between two dorks on the East Coast. They're like, I have Kansas and Wyoming. You can't dig there. And from then on, Cope and Marsh were rivals, and the rivalry only became more bitter and destructive in the years that followed.
Destructive?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They slept with each other's wives. I mean, looking for bones in there.
Much of what came to be known as the Bone Wars played out in Como Bluff, Wyoming, as well as in other parts of the western United States, especially the Morrison Foundation, which preserves much of the Jurassic period as far back as 200 million years. And the discoveries in the Morrison Foundation have taught us that the Jurassic was lush and green, and that dinosaurs, mammals, pterosaurs, crocodiles, and even small amphibians lived during that time. So this thing stretches, the Morrison Foundation and this whole deposit basically stretches across like most of the Great Plains and the Rockies and stuff like that. So to say this is my turf is so crazy because it stretches out over all these states and everything like that.
I mean, we could go out there and find some bones if we wanted to.
It happens all. Well, now a lot of it's like Bureau of Land Management and stuff like that because of what is about to happen here.
Yeah.
The government was like, okay, we're actually going to claim this right now. So Dinosaur National Park out in Colorado, that's part of this formation and everything like that.
So this is a good idea for a stream. We should go try to find some bones.
Fuck yeah.
But we got to be careful because what if we think we find a dinosaur bone and then they're just human bones?
In Los Angeles, that's probably likely.
Then that's great content for the stream.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What if? Then, we go fucking viral.
It would be funny to like roll into the Natural History Museum. Have we got a find for you?
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is a baby.
What? This is a bag of raccoon bones.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did you find this? This is a mass grave.
So with so many bones, the Morrison Formation was destined to become a battleground. The Bone Wars started in earnest in 1877 when a geologist named Arthur Lakes discovered massive dinosaur bones near Morrison, Colorado. He tried to alert Marsh to his findings, but Marsh was too slow on the uptake, so he instead sent some samples to Cope. And so, he was writing letters to him, and Marsh apparently was getting interested in mammals. He'd strayed from the dinosaur vision, so he didn't write him back immediately. And so instead he just sent a bunch of bones over to Cope, and that got Marsh's attention. He hired Lakes and sent more of his crew to Colorado to begin the mad dash for dinosaur bones. And Marsh published a description of Lakes' discoveries in the American Journal of Science on July 1st before Cope could publish his interpretation of the finds.
Gotcha.
Bitch. I made it to print.
This is like when Suge Knight copyrighted Chronic 2000 and then they had to call it Chronic 2001, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is Kanye leaking poopity scoop so Drake can't have it. Yeah.
And then the government had to come in.
Absolutely.
Management.
Yeah, that's right, and put Suge Knight in jail. Lakes wrote to him that the bones should be shipped to Marsh, which was a severe insult to him. So after this comes out, it's like, hey, you should actually give it to this guy you hate.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, no. And over the next decade and a half, a gold rush type of mania consumed Cope and Marsh, who constantly tried to outdo one another. So these guys, they have these huge crews going all over the West, and their tactics became shady very quickly. Marsh bribed people to work for him instead of Cope. He even went so far as to have spies track Cope's progress, referring to Cope by the code name B. Jones.
Damn, it used to be good to be a paleontologist.
This sounds
financially lucrative,
dude.
If you're working for these crazy people.
Like, I watch dinosaur like documentaries and shit all the time. The paleontologists now are just, they're like us. They're nerds, man.
Also, some of them are lame too because like I love paleontology.
The nerds are lame.
They always react to like dinosaur movies like this is inaccurate.
Yeah.
Come on, it's a movie.
Everyone's trying to be Neil deGrasse Tyson now.
Yeah, I'm like, if I hear one more paleontologist complain about the Diplosaurus in Jurassic Park 1, I'm like, dude, it's cooler that it has frills and spits venom. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is the coolest part of the movie. Just relax. Have a beer.
Have fun with it. It's crazy.
Have a beer. Get fucked up, dude. Why are you not drunk right now, motherfucker?
Yeah. Come on.
Cope continued his bad habit of rushing to publish his discoveries and even bought his own scientific journal to keep up with his load.
Damn. That's a good idea. I would buy my own scientific journal. This is like Citizen Kane, right? Controlling the media.
Yeah, straight up. Yes. Yeah.
We're like,
this is manufactured
Chinatown
consent.
with the water, but it's bone.
Yeah. I was saying this is also like roughly the same time period too. I'm like, this is There Will Be Blood, except there's a river of dinosaurs under my feet.
Yeah.
And only I can get at it. Cope published 76 academic papers between 1879 and 1880 and a staggering 1,400 articles total during his lifetime. Wow. So he's like L. Ron Hubbard. He's just shitting these things out, man.
No one knows they're wrong yet.
Right. Yeah. Because this is all brand new science. You know, this is the 1870s and early 1880s. So everything is brand new. People are like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild to think of a time where no one even knew dinosaurs existed.
That was a question at trivia one week. True or false? George Washington knew what dinosaurs were.
The first dinosaur was discovered in the
early 1800s, and Washington died in 1799, so he would have never heard the word.
Except about his ex-wife, you know what I'm talking about? Come on.
Well, she outlived him. Talking Martha. There's some accounts that claim that Cope and Marsh were so competitive, they stole from one another and reportedly destroyed any leftover bones from a dig site with dynamite just to prevent the other from falling into the wrong hands.
They're evil. These guys are not good people.
They get all the complete skeletons they can. There's still bones in the ground. They're like, fuck you, and they blow up the site.
It sounds like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk trying to get to the fucking Mars.
I mean, yeah, definitely. This is some shit Elon Musk would absolutely do.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos would secretly do it.
Yeah.
Cope, as it turned out, wasn't the only one making embarrassing mistakes in his rush to outpace his adversary. When Marsh discovered a long-necked dinosaur in 1877, he named it Apatosaurus. But the incomplete specimen was missing its skull, so Marsh just guessed that a skull found elsewhere belonged to the Apatosaurus. Unfortunately, it was actually the skull of Camarasaurus, and when he examined it, he named it Brontosaurus, and it was actually just an Apatosaurus with a different skull, but that's why you get those two names are still referred to as the same creature now because of this fuck up.
Right.
I don't hear anyone refer to either of these ever.
You don't get Brontosaurus?
I think the most common is probably Brachiosaurus, right?
Nah, man, Brontosaurus. That was like the go-to.
That was the go-to.
Yeah,
but I just never hear this discussed these days. I'm going to be honest.
Brachiosaurus is my favorite.
Unless I'm talking to Kurt Rivers.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sauropod?
Sauropod? I mean, it's going to be hard to beat the Titanosaurus I saw in Chicago, which is a little bit bigger, but same family, I guess. Their descriptions of the new species based on their reconstructions led to confusion and misconceptions that lasted for decades after their death.
Damn.
So yeah, people are still fucked up by this. As the two smeared one another in publications, the biggest casualties were Cope and Marsh themselves. By 1882, Marsh had become head paleontologist at the new U.S. Geological Survey, and his political connections allowed him to financially cut off Cope from government funding that was essential to his work.
Damn.
So this is
money wars.
Straight up, dude. Yeah. And he even tried to have Cope's fossils seized on the grounds that they had been collected with federal money and thus belonged to the government.
Oh, wow.
So this guy's a fucking I mean, they're both assholes.
Coming at
but
you with money, with the cops, with the feds.
Tried to take his bones, man. Cope fought back in a particularly vicious way in 1890. For years, he had been collecting information. Records of nefarious, underhanded dealings and accusations of scientific impropriety to use against Marsh. And he turned them over to a freelance journalist at the New York Herald, an eager purveyor of scandals. And the headline says, "Scientists wage bitter warfare." And this set off a firestorm.
Wow.
So this guy's like Kendrick, just taking notes for 10 fucking years, just waiting to drop it.
Yeah.
And then he finally dropped it. And the public battle lasted for 2 weeks. And so they're writing letters back and forth in the paper. And Marsh and his allies in the U.S. Geological Survey were publicly accused of corruption, incompetence, and misuse of government funds. Congress investigated and eventually cut the budget entirely for their paleontology department.
Wow.
Marsh was fired and forced to hand over his fossil collection. And for his part, Cope attempted to make up for his losses in a silver mining opportunity in New Mexico, but lost everything in the venture.
Oh,
So
I think this is a classic story about greed, too.
Yeah.
Both of them are fucking broke.
Yeah.
Both of them lost everything because they...
Basically because of their ego.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. This is, a Pyrrhic victory on both parts, which is kind of amazing. So now a divorced and destitute morphine addict, somebody eventually bought some of Cope's collection, but he died presumably of a UTI from what it seems like.
His penis hurt and
he
died.
had some kind of piss disease.
Ew.
And he died at the age of 56 in 1897. On his deathbed, Cope issued a final challenge to Marsh. He would have his skull donated to science so his brain could be measured, hoping his brain would be larger than that of his adversary.
Phrenologist, too.
Yeah, he was doing phrenology. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he was doing phrenology, but also it's just funny. Like, let's wear our brains,
Motherfucker, measure your cock, measure your brain. Let's fucking do this, pal.
It's also sad that that's the last thing he's thinking about before he dies.
Yeah, he's
Like,
thinking about a
fuck
guy
this
he
guy.
hates.
Yeah, still.
I mean, if you
Jesus.
went completely, the other guy was thinking about him all the time, too, for like 20 years straight.
Oh, yeah. So Marsh never accepted the brain challenge, but he did die of pneumonia 2 years later at the age of 67. He had $186 in his bank account at the time.
Lord.
And over
That's
80
pretty good.
Yeah, I guess in
Just having a bank account,
1880s.
you're probably a baller.
yeah.
Living in a place where there's a bank, woof.
Over 80 tons of Marsh's personal fossil collection was acquired by the Smithsonian, and Marsh left the bulk of his collection to the Peabody Museum at Yale. And it's safe to say there was no real winners of the Bone Wars, but judging by pure numbers, Marsh won. He discovered 80 new species, and Cope discovered 56. Between them, they discovered Allosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Diplodocus, Apatosaurus, and many more.
Damn.
So
they really did do some good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It just took fucking years to literally sort out the mess that they made.
Took till their death.
Yeah.
And then afterwards.
Yeah. Because he says they have 80 tons, so you have to go through 80 tons of rocks to be like, okay, they totally fucked this up. This one goes here, this one goes here, kind of a thing.
And then you're still guessing.
I do love old, outdated dinosaur art from I
love that shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that park in London that has the old recreations of that?
I think I've seen photos before.
It's amazing. I want to go there so bad.
Part of me thinks there's something like, not that I wish they looked like that, but like they do look like cool creatures. Like when they're like, I don't know.
Well, they were trying to make them look badass.
Yeah,
you know, and I love that they went for that. We want the dinosaurs to look badass. We want to imagine that they look cool as fuck.
Yeah, the Crystal Palace dinosaurs, that's what it is. Yeah, they're just all like completely based on them putting their bones together incorrectly. So they have these like giant hands,
shoulders,
and stuff like that.
The giant heads too. The big heads.
They're like, it looks like an iguana, but a dog also.
Yes, it's a dog iguana, totally. Yeah, I'm dying to go there. If anybody got any UK listeners that find themselves over at the Crystal Palace dinosaurs, hit us up. I want to see some pics. That's one of the cool things about the Field Museum in Chicago is they do have all of those old, like in the main gallery with all the bones. They do have just a giant mural of the old where all the dinosaurs are balancing on their tails.
Yeah,
you know.
Isn't there that really one famous one where the head is like part of a triceratops on like a
Rivers is hitting a crazy Google search right now.
Yeah,
antiquated dinosaur art.
Yeah. I love those the
iguanodon.
The iguanodons are so cool looking. Old Stegosaurus art is really cool looking too, and I
had some of these books. Like there was a point in time
every school had these books.
Yeah.
Totally. I remember looking at books at school and they had all these same fake dinosaurs in them.
Yeah,
and the teachers would teach us as if they were real because everyone thought they were at the time.
Yeah, like the one thing that kind of like I wish was true is I do love how scientists thought that sauropods, like long necks, they could only live in swamp and water because their legs were so short compared to the rest of the body. They couldn't actually stand upright outside of the water.
Right,
and you'll see in all those old outdated dinosaur art books that the long necks always in swamps with like leaves from the swamps, and I'm like, this is kind of sick. This looks cool.
I love all that old shit is cool. And if you go to the Field Museum in Chicago, they've got that big artwork, which is awesome. But that's the Bone Wars.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love. I have to read the book. I've never read the book, but it's been on my list.
After hearing that, these guys clearly you're going to hear every single detail of these madmen's crazy thoughts.
Yeah,
I bet they both kept journals where they talk shit about one another and all sorts of stuff.
Boom boom, aka like a boom, boom boom, aka like a boom boom, boom boom, aka like a boom, boom boom, aka like a boom boom. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody want the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody want the dinosaur. Boom boom, aka like a boom, boom boom, aka like a.
Wednesday, I went to an open mic and it was great. And then I had a show in Santa Monica at a kava bar.
Oh,
kava's the new alternative to alcohol.
We did one on the show.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
You've never had it? Me neither. I don't think I partook when we did the kava. But I go to the kava show. It's like a bad show. It's like an ambush thing on a couple people playing like Cards Against Humanity and Battleship because it's like a coffee shop type hang.
Right.
And so these three people walk in. I couldn't tell if they were homeless or almost homeless or something.
Yeah.
But they seemed like they had been hanging out in Santa Monica all day long.
Yeah,
probably.
for sure.
So one guy's just heckling everyone. And he's just like the heckler that doesn't make any sense. And so I tried to talk to him, and I was like, "What high school grade did you finish, sir? Did you graduate?" And he thought, like, I could tell he was actually thinking, and then he goes, "I don't know."
Oh, wow.
He just said, "I don't know," and I was like, "Well, not much I could do with this other than make fun of you, except you're like 1/8 of the crowd right now." And then he continued. Apparently, his name was Louis.
Oh, okay.
The host had found that out while they were inside because he had been talking to this group of people before the show.
Yeah.
And so at one point he made a joke and Louis laughed, and then the host said, "Ooh, I knew Louis would like that one." And Louis looks at him and goes, "How did you know my name?" like super paranoid.
Whoa.
And so I did that show with a guy who very clearly was crazy.
Yeah.
One of those hecklers that was so hard to deal with because he was just incoherent, clearly on drugs. The paranoia of how do you know my name? He was so scared, legitimately.
You just said it.
Yeah, you said it to this guy 30 minutes ago inside when you were having a conversation you probably don't remember you fucking had.
Yeah.
I love when a comic tries to interact with somebody in the audience that clearly will not take it right, and then they just don't know what to do after.
Yeah, well,
like,
this was one of those guys that like wanted to be interacted with.
Oh, yeah.
Because he probably just like couldn't concentrate, long enough to actually listen to someone talk. But yeah, that was fun. Go to Santa Monica, do a bad show. I mean, it was fun. I was glad to get booked, but even the host was like, "I'm sorry about this show. It's usually better."
It's one of those.
The classic "It's usually better" line.
Oh man, what'd you get into this week, Kurt? Anything fun?
Trying to think.
Kurt has so many good stories he could tell. Not from this week, but
just in general.
All right, so it's 2020. Go.
I'm trying to think. So you guys want a story?
Yeah, tell us a story. Tell us one of your infamous childhood stories.
Where I've ruined people's lives on accident.
I ruined your own life on accident.
My own life. I'm trying to think what story would be good for a podcast.
I was going to say.
So I ran cross country in high school, and I had so many run-ins with pedophiles when I was a kid. It was wild. Like I would run around the neighborhood in like nothing but like my short shorts,
cross country
shorts, and I'd be like sweating. And the one time, this pedophile, and I knew he was a pedophile because he had like a shitty van, and he was like, it was like a Chrysler.
You'd think they'd get a new car,
He's a poor pedophile.
I remember it was a green Town and Country Chrysler.
Wow. Okay.
Like, do you know what that is? Like,
of course. It's like the one if you couldn't get the Dodge Caravan or the Plymouth Voyager.
Mom minivan, the old school.
So this pedophile, he took out a flip phone and like took a photo with me with his flip phone, and you could hear the ka-ching, like that, ka-ching, and then I was like and then I like ran away, and he was like casually like following me, and I was like, this is pretty wild for a pedophile to do. And then I like turned down a side street, and then the car followed me. He gave me this little like. He was smiling at me, and I was really scared that he kept following me.
Yeah.
So I was like,
of course you would.
Yeah. I was like, I got to get out of here. This guy's I'm being hunted.
I was about to say, how far away are we from Gilgo Beach here?
Pretty far.
Rex Hewerman.
It wasn't Rex, hopefully, but I was like, I got to hide. So there was this fence of this house, and the main door of the gate, the backyard was open. And I was like, I'm just going to jump in here and hide.
Yeah.
And I jump in the backyard, and it was like a 6th grader's graduation party. And there was like kids and parents in the backyard, and a mother was cutting cake, and I was like tearing up, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And then all these kids were like celebrating. And I just said it. I was like, can I hide for a second? I'm being chased by a pedophile.
She's cutting cake.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. And then she was like, sure, you can hide out here. Do you want me to call anyone for you? And I was like, no, I just think I need 5 minutes. Until he like drives off. And then they're like, do you want any cake? And I was like, sure. And I just like sat down with these kids and just like ate a piece of cake. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to go now. Thanks for the cake. And they're like, all right, don't be molested.
I was gonna say goodbye, mostly nude teenager.
I'm surprised they weren't like, no, we're definitely calling someone.
Yeah.
What's your mom's phone number?
No, they didn't give a fuck, basically. But
That's so weird they wouldn't be just completely put off by the fact that a teenager in short shorts jumps the fence in the middle of a party.
yeah, weeping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weeping.
Yeah, I had even crazier experiences with pedophiles where like
It's crazy.
or
For
like
a man who's never been molested.
never been molested, but
Catholic Church his whole life on
Wow.
the East Coast.
Okay,
never
yeah.
been molested. But there's some like funny pedophile stories where like you know like Manhunt. You ever play Manhunt? It's tag at night with teams,
Oh, okay, all right.
and we would always play at the park. We would have teams. One team, there's like a base, like there was a gazebo in the park. That's just
Yeah.
a base.
Okay.
And one team hides. The other team has to find you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every kid that like gets from their hiding spot to the base is like a point.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's pretty fun.
I think we did this in Boy Scouts. Yeah.
It's in the middle of the night and you play. And so it was the finals of the tournament. There was actually a trophy for the Manhunt. We were fucking losers. And me and my friend were hiding in a bush, and we were like hiding really well. And all of a sudden, I guess what happened was a pedophile rolled up to the park and then like got out and was like trying to talk to the kids and like with a flashlight and
Doing
like, being-
actual manhunt. Yeah.
being like a fucking
Child
weirdo.
hunt.
Yeah, child hunt.
Child hunt. He what is he? He like all the kids cancel the game. The tournament's over, right?
They were just run.
Yeah, everyone runs home. No one's doing anything. And me and my friend did not know, because we were hiding so well, that it was just the pedophile and me and my friend in a park. And he was still like fucking around with the flashlight doing weird
Oh my
shit.
God.
And you thought it was just your friends looking for you?
Thought the game was still going on. It became like an hour because the game was so intense that
Yeah,
like,
obviously, and then it's really intense now.
and then after like an hour, we like got a text that was like confirming, hey, there's like a weirdo in the
Hey,
park.
Chester the molester is fucking here. Yeah, get out of there.
So we just got out of the hopped the fence and got home.
Oh
you know?
my fucking God. Long Island is
Great place for funny pedophile
it seems
stories.
so great. Like my dad's from Staten Island, which is not that far away, but
Yeah.
like God, everybody I know from Long Island has got the weirdest fucking stories like that from growing up there.
Also, you remember those Super Sweet 16 shows
Yes.
on MTV?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
He grew up in the culture of, because all those were in
Yeah.
Long Island.
Okay. Did you end up in any of them?
We
And
went
how
to-
many raccoon bones did you bring?
We went to me and my friends would go to so many Sweet 16s, and it was so funny because like
Could you crash them? Like, would you like really have to be invited?
you would have to get invited, but we went to so many, and it was so much fun. We would as we were going there, they've spent so much money on the Sweet 16s.
Yeah, of course.
Like
If you remember the show,
I
it's
do.
ridiculous.
it was and it was just like that, you know, like rented out ballrooms on the water. Everyone, the family's there.
Yeah.
Beautiful food, giant cakes, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
DJs. And every time me and my friends that did not give a fuck about like the experience of the girl growing up.
You're the white trash.
We're
with the
the
rich
white
person
trash.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, I would wear his suit. He was a 6'3" police officer. Like I would wear his suit, and
Oh,
I looked
sweet.
like David Byrne from The Talking Head.
I was going to say, yeah, it's like John Cena before he
Yeah.
learned to dress himself.
And we would just drive, all of us, and my friend's dad would just play Mr. Blue Sky, and we would just lean out the window.
Hell
Just,
yeah.
Let's get fucked up. But we wouldn't drink. We were 16. We would go to these giant parties, and they were just awful. The girl, she would dedicate every candle to somebody important in her life.
Oh no! So
there's like a big ceremony. I thought it was just like a big party.
No,
Yeah.
big ceremony, like if it's fucking Hanukkah or like Christmas or some shit. And the girl would always weep. She would always dedicate a
course.
candle to like her ill grandmother who
Yeah.
flew in from Florida.
Oh, boy.
And the grandmother's like, what? I didn't know I would get a candle. And oh my gosh, I'm so touched. And she'd go up there, and me and my friends would be like, this is fucking stupid. And every Sweet 16, we would go up to the DJ and request Sandstorm.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know that song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we would just have a mosh pit. And every Sweet 16 girl hated it. They were like, this needs to end. And but the DJs were always creeps. I told you the story about one of the DJs would just like dance with the girls, and you're like, you know these girls are 16, right? Like they would like, you would be like in the crowd, and the girls would be like, woo, and then
Oh my God!
we would just like me and my friends that were like, we would go behind him and point at him, and while the song was going on, we would just go, "He's a pedophile."
No,
pedophile. And this DJ grabbed me by the shirt and he was like, "Get out here!" And he like brought me into the parking lot, and he was like, What's going on, man?" He was like, "What's the problem?
Why are you blowing up my spot?"
And I was just like, "You're an adult, man. Like, these are kids."
Yeah.
And he was just very angry, and he just stormed back in the Sweet 16. Like,
dude, you're fucking up my shit.
The guy who always DJ'd our high school like dances and stuff like that. He was a dad of like one of the kids in the school, so he wasn't a creep, but he was a bald man who wore white polo shirts tucked into Jinkos.
Oh, that is
with a belt.
That's weird.
And I was always like, just even at the time, even when it was happening, I was just shocked by his attire when he showed up.
He was definitely DJing underground raves.
Yeah, probably.
With those Jinkos.
Yeah, DJ Oz with 2 Z's. So not a creep. Just I've never seen anyone tuck anything into Jinkos before or since. But
yeah,
I did. I DJ'd for my mom's 50th high school reunion a couple of years ago. That was easy. Except I basically just made a playlist of all the songs from like 1964 and 65 and then just took requests. So that was fun. I could handle that.
Did you have like the big glasses on, the sunglasses?
I should have.
With the like glow sticks things around your neck, like, let's get ready.
Nah. I was like, these are people in their 70s. They're pretty much just chilled to like
this one's called Sandstorm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that fucking rules, man. I'm sorry you had to battle pedophiles your whole life, but I'm glad you.
It's a battle.
Yeah, I think it's. I have a very disarming smile.
Yeah,
like
you have a young face.
I have a young face that I'm kind of an idiot too. So if someone was like,
"Hey, do you want any candy?"
If somebody has bad intentions, I'll think Like one time a guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you party?" "Party? Sure."
Yeah.
I love to party. What are we doing? And then I'm underneath an like fucking bridge. What's going on here?
Yeah. Goddamn.
This isn't partying.
Only thing I wanted to mention, I saw Joni Mitchell on Sunday at the Hollywood fucking Bowl, and it was great. And my favorite thing that, first of all, on stage, Elton John was there. And
Did he play?
So they brought him out. And everybody, so Joni had an aneurysm about 10 years ago and can't really, stand up for long periods of time. So it was kind of cool because everybody on stage is seated. So they have these like big couches and shit. So it's supposed to be like Joni's like living room jam. So everybody's seating and she's on like a throne basically with a cane where she's kind of keeping time and, holding herself up and stuff like that. Her singing was, all things considered, considering her brain exploded, fucking amazing. Yeah. And her, kind of popular stuff from the 60s, her voice is a lot deeper now, so that they kind of changed the arrangements to accommodate that. But at one point she sang Summertime in Living's Easy, the George Gershwin song, and I was like,
cool.
Fuck, she has like a old-timey jazz kind of deep voice now. It was perfect. But yeah, we had Elton John, and they did I'm Still Standing, but Elton John has also lost his voice.
Oh, he was there?
He retired from
retired. Yeah, so he got a little like, I'm still standing. Like you could barely hear it in the background. Like Joni was louder than Elton John. And then randomly Meryl Streep and Rita Wilson were just on stage hanging out.
All right.
I've noticed that in LA, which is crazy, that celebrities will just, if you're a famous celebrity at like a concert, at the end, if it's like, I guess it's my turn to dance. Well, that happened at the Beach Boys. There was 3 stars like on stage dancing. It's like, it's like you're doing this because you're famous. And like,
right.
Like, you don't love the Beach Boys like I love the Beach Boys. Should be me dancing up there.
Who was the other one? So singing, Brandy Carlisle was kind of emceeing the whole thing, and then her and Robin Pecknold from the Fleet Foxes were kind of doing the backup vocals. Cool. And then the part they killed that was like the shit to me. They had Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics was there.
Oh wow!
And I was like, sign me up for her next tour.
Yeah,
she sounded incredible. And Wendy and Lisa from Prince and the Revolution were both there playing guitar and bass. And I was like, this is fucking amazing. And she played for like they did a maybe 45-minute intermission. 3 hours, the whole thing.
No,
it was
fucking way.
It was great,
That's
dude.
crazy for a concert, for a modern day concert,
especially for Joni Mitchell,
an old person,
a woman who's 80. Just
that's awesome.
Killed it for 3 hours. But the thing I just wanted to say, shout out to Ed. I was in line for a hot dog, and there was a guy. And if I told you to draw a cartoon of a man who has played bass in a bar band for like 40 years, you would draw this guy exactly. When he told me, he's like, man, I've been playing bass for 40 years or whatever. I was like, yeah, I bet. Handlebar mustache, gray ponytail. And he was telling me all about going to the Dead back in the day. So that's why I wore my Dead shirt today. Because he was like, man, the thing you got to remember, don't ever put beer on top of acid. Put the acid on top of beer. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, wow.
I used to love them both. Either way.
Yeah. But apparently, you want to be drunk and then do acid, not the other way around.
Oh, okay.
So
I've never taken acid.
That's the advice you hear from a burnout, and you're like, well, I need to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Clearly, you got it fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he made it to age 70 something, so I was like, I guess I don't know. He made it here.
Yeah. The Hollywood Bowl is a great place for a concert.
My God,
I saw Bob Dylan and.
Wait, were you at that?
Yeah,
I was there
Nelson.
too. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
With John Cougar. Well, when John Cougar Mellencamp is the spring chicken of the group, it's
he was
special.
Yeah,
he was great.
He was great.
They were all great.
They were all great. Willie crushed. I felt like Willie crushed it at 92. Like with the sun. Like
Lucas on there. It's great.
They had that funny song about weed.
Yeah.
That was
Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die.
It's a funny song.
Originally was a duet with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. That was great, and that was a great concert. I'm trying to go see all the people that are dying.
That's what I realized. I was talking to a friend of the show, Blake Hamilton, about this, and he was like, "What's the best concert you've seen in LA?" And I'm like, I feel like I've just been like ticking off legacy things that I didn't bother, because when I was in college, we'd go drive up to like the smaller venues like the Tabernacle and the Friday Playhouse up in Atlanta and see indie rock bands and indie like rap bands, like things that cost $40 or less. And now it's like, I live in LA, and the Hollywood Bowl they got a lot of seats to fill, so it's not the most expensive place to see a show.
Yeah.
So I've just been kind of ticking them off. I've seen The Who. I saw Brian Wilson do Pet Sounds.
Oh, nice.
That Dylan, Willie Nelson, and John Cougar Mellencamp, and then ticked off Joni Mitchell on Sunday.
Yeah, I did the same thing with the Stones this year.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I never saw the Stones. And I was
you went to SoFi?
I went to SoFi, saw the Stones, and then I got Oasis tickets.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till like closer to, but I think I might go. The funny thing with that is like Blur is still touring, and I like them more. So I don't know. Next time Blur comes to America, I'd probably prioritize that over Oasis.
Yeah.
Either way. Shout out to the guy in my hot dog line. You were a righteous guy.
What was his name?
Ed. Yeah.
Ed. Yeah, that's right. You said
Shout out to fucking Ed and his tales of going to see the Dead when it fucking mattered, man.
Was he serving you the hot dog, or was he?
No, he was just behind me. He was just behind me in line, and I just struck up a conversation with him.
I would love that if the hot dog guy was a 70-year-old burnout who's
so
just
much
like,
time.
Hey man, let me tell you about the 70s.
Cornell 77, man.
It's on acid as he's serving you a hot dog.
Yo, we have time for just one more segment, and of course, this is our Jam of the Week. Oh, speaking of the 60s.
Damn it, do we have a good song today?
Oh, hell yeah, we
rare
do.
good song in the Jam of the Week.
Oh, yeah. This is, of course, Greg Raleigh on keys and vocals for Santana and the song Evil Ways from the 1969 self-titled album Santana. This song has 9.9 million views, 2,229 comments, and y'all, I read every goddamn last one of them. So, you know the song, Kurt? I'm sure you do, right? You've seen a movie that involves people doing heroin in the 60s?
Or driving in a car.
Yes. Yeah, if you're driving in a car, this is... And it's funny because every time I think it's going to be Love Potion number 9, but it's not. It's a different song.
It does have that same sort of like beat. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and the guy playing organ and singing, of course, Greg Raleigh, would go on to start Journey after he was in Santana, I think 5 or 6 years, and then was the co-founder of Journey along with Neil Schon and the rest of those guys. But anyway, this is a song I was just perusing. I was like, oh man, we haven't done Santana in a while because we have covered Smooth, we have covered Black Magic Woman, so I figured now it's time to bring in Evil Ways. So let us now dive down into the YouTube comment section for the video for Santana's Evil Ways and see what the people have to say about it. First up, Patricia Pardo from 2 years ago. I'm fucking drunk right now. 2022. My good. I like this sound. 2022.
All right.
Hell yeah. She did not live to see 2023, I feel like.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Patricia Pardo. Yeah. Bugster Rocky 8 years ago. This goes out to all the unfaithful ladies out there, and you know who you are, all caps. Scandalous ass, two-faced ass bitches. LOL.
This comment's for all the
YouTube comment?
Yeah. This is just what people are leaving on the video. This is the, as Carter said, the bathroom wall of the internet.
This comment goes out to all the dirty ass hoes out there. I love listening to this song and getting sad and mad.
Yeah. And I did change it just so I could read it, but I would like to point out that when I copied and pasted it, scandalous was spelled scandalass, like S-C-A.
I like that. Scandalass.
No, there was no D. It was scandalous.
Oh.
Scandalass hose. Yeah. I was looking at that word for a minute. I was like, oh, scandalous. Okay, gotcha.
These hoes are causing a scandal.
In my life. The tabloids are all over me. Fernando Castro, along similar lines, 4 years ago. Check this out, baby. Last night you didn't go to your uncle's house because you're a liar with your poisonous tongue.
Oh, wow.
He drove by and your car wasn't at your uncle's house, baby. Fernando knows what's up.
And he's calling you out on YouTube.
On Santana's 53-year-old song on YouTube. Along similar lines. Blood for blood, dark halls.
Jesus.
Just says in all caps, when I come home, you're fucking my friends.
What if that guy's a cuck? And that's a very excited. Yeah.
Ooh,
I like
when I come home, you're fucking my friends.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might be that.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he loves it. Ken Martin, 4 months ago. I had a buddy who always sang, you got to change your underwear. Us welders are an odd bunch.
That's like one of those shirts you see online. It's like, you wouldn't understand. It's a welder thing.
Yeah.
And they just have those for every single job in the history of the world.
Yeah, never underestimate a man who listens to Sting and is born in September. An actual one I saw. It had Sting on the shirt. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's because in the song, you got to change your evil ways. He's saying, you got to change your underwear.
Okay,
aren't we weird? Aren't the welders weird?
Do a little pun.
Yeah.
Do a little funny pun.
This one is AJ Smar from 9 years ago.
I love that name.
Yeah, it sounds fake.
It sounds fake, but you know it's real.
Yeah.
I'm from we're Smars.
It's a Smar thing.
Yeah,
you wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand. Yeah, if you're born in April, listen to Santana, and your name is Smar. He says, lucky me. I came home and had no pots or pans. Just her. I never got tired. I just wore out. I had shocks on my Torino and hotel beds, and this song played everywhere we went. Yeah. Came home and actually, hey, she did fool around. Damn.
Okay, I'm so confused by this because the first sentence, I'm like, okay, he came home and had no pots and pans. Clearly, that means his wife left him and took all the pots and pans.
No, I just
said next sentence. Yeah, that's the confusing part.
Well, I think in the song he says, I came home and I had no thoughts. But people have misinterpreted this to mean pots, like as in like, oh, you're not cooking for me. There was a few of those. Where it was like, I'll leave a woman who doesn't cook for me, and I'm like, it's thoughts. It doesn't say pots. I come home and there's no pots. But yeah, I had shocks on my Torino and hotel beds,
and that made me think that he had left.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but then it's like this played everywhere we went. So I'm just like,
I think he's fooling around with a woman with evil ways, and he is enjoying it.
Yeah, something like that.
Because he goes, "Hey, she did fool around."
And
damn.
I think we might be making the classic mistake of trying to break down the comments of a crazy, person
guy
into a way that makes sense.
Well, this one's pretty direct. Martin Downey 1 year ago. So there I was. The waitress was hot. She could have been 60, but she was sweating and delighting the patrons before me. I call that foreplay. So what?
Jesus.
Martin, you're horny. You've been playing bass in a bar band for 40 years.
I love that. She could have been 60, but she was sweating.
I love how he's just turned on by a woman doing labor. Like just a woman doing her job. That's actually pretty feminist of him. He's just watching a woman work, and he's like,
the labor of a lady.
He's at a Waffle House, and she told a good street joke, and he's like, wow,
she's working till she sweats. I wonder what else she'll sweat at.
Why don't you get me another coffee? Make you work some more, baby. Back in there, whips her with a little towel.
These two are kind of along similar lines. PTT619, shout out San Diego, 11 years ago. Take 20, add 4, multiply that by 40, divide it by 7, multiply by 0. That's how much fucks I give.
Jesus.
Wow. I bet that person thinks they're so funny and everyone at their job hates them. And they're like, please stop trying to tell jokes, PD.
So this guy gives 0 fucks, but then weirdly, K. Rinkovsky 1 year ago, you know, Carlos, there comes a point when I realize I actually miss giving a fuck. I did not see that coming. Love you, brother. Viva Santana. Thank you.
God damn.
One guy gives no fucks. This guy has got one back. He was surprised
he
for
missed it. He wants to give a fuck.
Oh yeah. That's all he wants.
Oh wow, I like that.
The song's too short.
I know.
That's the problem.
All for Humanity, please. 2 years ago, and this one takes a turn. I have loved these songs since I was a teenager. Now, in 2022, they're more appropriate and they mean much more. With our evil pandemic mandates, please do not comply with evil's mask / vax rules.
God damn it.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. He was probably he
on his deathbed writing this.
Yeah, he had an underlying condition. He's just dying.
Oh, this guy, Mike, this might be the guy I was talking to in line. Mike Palacios, 5 months ago. It's 5 a.m. at work, and someone gave me shrooms. I'm feeling sick and high and slapping Santana. Where do you work? I need to know.
What kind of night shift job can you
No, 5 a.m. They could be McDonald's. He's making me breakfast.
He's like making ball bearings or some dangerous shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, man. Those are going fast down that assembly line.
Working TSA. Just slapping Santana.
I'm working at a hospital.
On shrooms.
Yeah. Priscilla Treasure Maynard 1 year ago. This is an ideal cha-cha song. I want to demonstrate a cha-cha routine to this with my friend Kiara from work in front of her current co-workers. I just did a practice round to it with my roommate Aaron. Cha-cha-cha.
Priscilla, you need to put down the bottle.
More importantly, Kiara, get some mace. Priscilla is determined to cha-cha-cha with you into the
Priscilla
next lifetime.
Has an evil crush on you.
I love this guy's name, The Rage DJ.
Oh, hell yeah.
2 years ago.
That's
the guy from the Sweet 16 dancing with 15-year-olds.
Man, when Carlos played that bridge after the chorus in his return, he played the same thing twice because he was venting his frustrations. The lions and tigers and bears, they all hate him now because he played the guitar illegally. Right?
Love it. Love that one. I have no comments. Perfect.
I like that the Rage DJ just assumes everybody is pissed off.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like Carlos Santana is pretty chill overall. Got a couple more here. Sam, you'll love this one. Kathy L. Anderson from 11 months ago. Oh, yeah. Smoking some good Colombian that the seeds pop and burn your shirt.
This is a thing. Old people do love shitty weed
love
still.
It. Hell, all the good pot is gone. No more mellow, happy high. It's all genetically modified shit with THC levels altered for every damn ailment that does nothing but give you munchies and feel weird.
Yeah, definitely. They're right about that. And I love it.
Worst thing ever was legalizing that crap. The government is laughing behind growers' backs because all the tax monies and the shit they sell is many times moldy. Do you ever have moldy weed?
No, but I've heard of such things.
Okay.
Really? A lot of the times there's expiration dates on marijuana products, but the expiration date is 1 year from when it's packaged.
Yeah, okay.
So weed is really only good when it's fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it's been sitting around in bad conditions and low light, bad temperature, it could grow mold on it.
Yeah.
A lot of companies don't really know what they're doing. They're trying to make a quick buck. So this stuff does happen, but if you're mad about mold in your weed and you want to smoke seeds, like, I don't know.
What's smoking seed?
Oh, young man.
Young man. Kurt's not a weed guy.
Yeah, I'm not a weed guy.
I'm not a weed guy either.
I've never even heard that term, smoking seed.
It's literally, back in the day, you would buy shitty swag and it would have stems and seeds in it. And you would, you know, my record collection there, I have a feeling my father, who I acquired a lot of those records for, probably spent a significant amount of time breaking off stems and seeds from a bag of weed on a record. And then, but if you miss one and you're smoking, if it's dry enough, the seed will pop and your fucking bowl will go on the floor.
And now the weed, of today is genetically perfect, more or less, so that the
seedless watermelon.
The buds don't grow seeds in them, and they purposely make it so that happens.
We're like the last.
I mean, yeah, you can still get really shitty weed, but it's like, why would you want to?
Yeah. It's like getting a non-seedless watermelon. I
got some really shitty weed from someone once. I didn't buy it; they just gave it to me, and it was like shit. Where I was like, "Damn, I didn't know you could still get weed this bad."
Wow!
Like it looked like a normal bud, like you would get, sort of, but it just smelled like shit, tasted like shit, had seeds in it, and I was like, "Damn, I can't believe this still exists."
It's like ancient grains, but it's weed.
Yeah,
heirloom weed.
Can you get smoke? Can you get six? I said smoke. Can you get six smoking moldy weed?
Probably, yeah.
I'd imagine so. Yeah. Although we did a story a couple weeks ago about some weed that was sitting in airplane fuel for underwater for a while, and people sold that. Whoa. So I don't know. The human body can adapt to a lot of things. Yeah. I got two more here. Ben Will 5 years ago. Santana. He buckles you in on your first trip to the moon. Carlos assures you that he is the captain, and he prepares you for the trip. Once you catch a glimpse of Carlos' smile, you know you're in good hands. It's like, all right, guy.
yeah. Take it easy. Just whacking
this is just some guy who just dropped some sort of hallucinogen.
Straight up.
Desperately needs someone to talk to.
Yeah, it's funny because Santana's most people, when you hear it now, they just think of that song Smooth. This was primo drug music in like the late 60s.
He was a drug guy.
Fuck yeah. Oh, he was on mescaline at Woodstock. And if you watch the video, he tells the story where he is on mescaline and his guitar, the neck of the guitar starts turning into a snake that's trying to eat it, like trying to bite him. And so he's playing Soul Sacrifice, trying to like tame the snake. And you watch the video and like he opens his eyes and he has no irises. It's just all fucking whole.
And he's just sweating like crazy.
Sweating his ass off, just like...
Was he playing well?
Yes. It's one of the most amazing guitar solos of all time.
It's like a legendary performance.
Yeah.
So what if we take mescaline for stand-up and the microphone becomes a snake?
Dude,
then we'll be the best stand-ups ever.
We've been to enough open mics. We've seen crazy people go up on mushrooms enough to know that it does not work good at all.
It's not good.
You just see a weirdo trying to break down Santana.
Yeah. And finally, the Reverend from 2 years ago.
Oh, this guy does comedy.
This is Sam.
I used to play this song when I was in one of the bands I was in. I was like, I should say when I was in a band. Yeah. We were playing in the parking lot for a bar's grand opening. We took a break and everyone went inside. I stayed outside with our equipment. Then the chief of police showed up and pointed his finger at a house where a woman was complaining about us and said, "Turn up the volume as loud as we could." He said that she is always complaining, calling the police on someone or another, and he wanted to give her something to really complain about. Cool officer.
One of those things where you almost want to be like cool cop, but then also he completely abuses his power.
100%.
Like 100% proof he does that.
Yeah. Someone's bleeding out. They're like, fuck her.
Give her something to really bleed about.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, well, that is the immortal Carlos Santana, Greg Raleigh, and the rest of the gang in Santana with Evil Away is our jam of the week. Kurt Steinmüller, where can people find you on the internet?
Kurt Steinmüller on Instagram and TikTok and And then you can find me on YouTube at Kurt Steinmüller or Kurt Gone Wild on YouTube.
Yeah, we really didn't talk about the Kurt Gone Wild videos.
Yeah.
Kurt makes his own, like, I don't know if it's not really a sketch series.
More
it's like
intense than
it's
that.
a video series,
It's a
I
video
guess you would
series.
say. It's a comedy video series.
Okay.
Where he is an animal wildlife expert.
Oh yes, I've seen these. Yes.
Yeah. And we got a couple funny episodes. I went to a furry convention. And,
Oh, hell yeah.
And did a panel there.
Nice.
Where I taught them about animals, and that went an interesting way.
Okay.
Check them out. Kirk on Wild, YouTube.
Hell yeah. Sam, where can people find you online?
Twitter, Slam Harder, Instagram, Sam Harder 666. I'm doing a show November 7th at the best comedy theater near you.
Hell yeah.
In Los Angeles.
That's the name of the venue, by the way.
That
folks.
is
Don't
the
be
name
confused.
of the venue.
Yeah.
They really thought they were going to fucking game the social media or the social or the search engine optimization, I mean. They really thought they were going to game it with that name.
But that makes it so much harder to find.
Who Googles stuff that the best blank near me? Who's ever Googled anything like that?
I don't understand it. I don't understand that name.
It's like when that band named themselves ! Like, that's a needle in a haystack on the internet now.
You fucked yourself.
You fucked yourself. Well, yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. Buy a shirt. Make you look skinny on TV. ProWrestlingTees.com/TheGoodsPod. Best way to support our show if you're watching this and not just listening, you're already doing it. Patreon.com/TheGoodsPod. The second best way to support our show, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, Kurt's giving you a bag of raccoon bones. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.